Hello and welcome to Tools to Create a Better Life with myself, Glenyce Hughes. Thank you so much for being here. I am so incredibly grateful for each and every one of you. Tools when you are scared as fuck. Something that you want to recognize with that scared energy or that fearful energy is you have a couple questions you can ask yourself. First question, truth, is this fear or is this excitement? Now, let me explain. I know that sounds weird. However, a lot of times what we're calling fear is actually our body super excited about something. Let me give you an example. Years and years ago, I wanted to be a public speaker. I wanted to stand on stage and share inspiration with people. And then I got my first invite. I was invited to speak on stage. Oh no, I can't have that happen. Oh no, I'm too scared. I can't do it. I have to say no. I had all of this insanity going on. Now, I didn't have this tool back then, and luckily I didn't let it stop me. However, the question I could have asked myself back then is like, truth, am I fearful? Am I scared? Or am I excited? Because that in that situation was actually what was true. I was so excited. My body was so excited. But we're so used to identifying that energy as fear that we don't stop and ask a question. So please, my sweet friends, start asking. Is this fear or is this excitement? If you get that it's fear, don't worry, I have another tool for you. Fear is actually, when it reads as fear, so it's not excitement, it's actually fear. What we're doing is we're distracting ourselves. That doesn't mean, to give you a silly example, if you're walking in a city downtown late at night and you're walking around and you're feeling, oh, icky, that you just go, oh no, I'm just distracting myself. I shall continue to do whatever I would like. No. You actually want to look at, is there something else to choose? Could be that you're distracting yourself and you could make a different choice. Maybe you get a taxi in that situation or something different. So it's not that we go, oh, well, it's no big deal. We still pay attention to it, but we don't distract ourselves with it. A lot of the stuff going on in the world right now that we might be choosing fear around are probably distractions, because there's nothing that in that moment that we can, no, I shouldn't say there's nothing. There may be something in that moment to do different. Let's say you're, what is that term now? Doom scrolling, I think they call it, when you're like on social media or something, looking at all the this is the worst thing ever and we're all going to die and all of that. So maybe the choice in that moment would be to stop doing that. That could be that. But you can check in, is there an action to take? Maybe you are aware of something and there's something to actually do. But it's not ever about sitting, in your house by yourself feeling scared as fuck. Like that's never going to create greater. That's only going to create more distraction and more of that icky energy. So we really have to look at this, guys, because it's something that we've probably found a way to just deal with it. It's like, oh, well, that's just what happens. So I watch the news and then I can't fall asleep at night and then I wake up in the middle of the night and I worry some more, and we've got to stop that. One, it adds the same energy, gives us more of that energy, of that doomy, gloomy, icky energy. And it's not about putting on rose-colored glasses either. We're not going, oh no, everything in the world is perfect and everybody's happy and loves each other. Please don't do that. It's about being aware. And when we're distracting ourselves, we're not aware, because we're doing what I call like putting blinders on. Let's say you go on social media for a little bit and you see some stories and it's like, oh my gosh, okay, well, this is going to happen and this is going to happen and then we're all going to die and this is going to happen when we're dead and all that. So we're putting all these blinders on rather than going, okay, yeah, I'm willing to be aware of what's going on without adding a story to it, so that we can actually start to be way more aware of what's required to change it. What can we be and do different to change it? Such a powerful question, my sweet friends, such a powerful question. I also have another radio show from years and years ago all about fear, so we'll link to that in the radio show notes. If you're not on my email list, guys, get on my email list. You get the show notes emailed to you and this show emailed to you every Sunday, along with a bunch of other fun stuff on there. In the show notes, Erica, the magician in the business, goes through and transcribes everything I say, puts it all in there with links to things I talk about and all the things. So come and join us. The other thing I would like to invite you to is I'm laughing because of the title. I've got some clarity nights, afternoons, coming up. So in Access Consciousness, we have this possibility of doing what's called clarity nights. What would be, we would maybe get together in the evening and we would talk about a topic and do a bunch of clearings and just get clarity around it. However, I'm going to have them in the afternoon, so it's just a fun play on it. And there's 5 for sure coming up. I may continue them after this, but we've got things like being the most valuable product in your life, choosing as if by magic, and a bunch more that I don't recall right now. So we're just going to talk about them. If you are in the area, if you are my neighbor, please come and play in person with me, my sweet friends. We'll have them both online and in person at the same time. So if you're here, you can come play. If you're not, you can join us online. You'll find the link somewhere. If you can't see it, reach out and I'll get it to you. Back to the show. Okay, so those are the 2 questions. 1, is this fear or is this excitement? Now that's going to read for some things. And for some other things, am I distracting myself with this? If you get a yes, what other choice do I have? And it might be to take some action. You might be recognizing that what you're choosing in that moment isn't creating greater and there's a different action to take. Cool. And then it can be, what can I be and do different to change this? The other thing with this, we want to recognize, again, especially because of everything going on the planet, one of the other tools that we use all the time, I was going to say a lot, but that's not true, all the time in Access Consciousness, is who does this belong to? Again, think of everybody on the planet who is scared as fuck right now. Yeah, that's a lot of people. It's a lot of people with that energy of scared as fuck, and we are infinitely aware. So we can pick up on that and then play with it as though it's ours. Please, let's stop that. What we want to do, again, is this fear or excitement. If you get its fear, then what am I distracting myself from? And also, who does this belong to? It's going to lighten up, return to sender with consciousness attached. That's the tool. It's such an easy tool. Return to sender with consciousness attached, which means you're returning it to whoever was the very first person to play with the energy, the distraction of scared as fuck. Cool. With consciousness means it's being delivered back in a way that they could change it if they wish. Now that part is not up to us. Our job, return to sender with consciousness attached, let them choose whatever they're going to choose and us to carry on. But really to start recognizing we have another choice. We have another choice. We can continue to play with scared as fuck and contract our life so small, or we can use some of these tools and make different choices and look at, okay, what is going to create the most here? What is going to create the most here? What can I be and do different to change this? The more that I change that energy that shows up in my life, that scared as fuck, the more that I'm willing to use these tools, it energetically ripples out and invites people around me and for miles and miles and forever and ever and ever to change it for themselves. So what sort of contribution could we be if all of you listening start using these tools rather than playing with scared as fuck as though it's real? We're infinite beings. Scared isn't a reality for us. We are infinite beings with infinite awareness, so we would make a different choice. We would just know, oh, there's that energy. Okay, what can I be and do different to change this? But when we're pretending we're finite beings, that's when it becomes a bit of a problem. That's when we stick ourselves, because we go into this energy of like, oh no, I'm scared because of this, and it's because of this, and this is going to happen, and this is going to happen, and then it's that spiral. I always call it like that, a hamster on a hamster wheel, like you're just going, and crazy. And honestly, it's up to us to stop it. So you've got some tools now, guys. please, 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 if you've got any questions, let me know. You can post them below, depending if you're watching this video somewhere. If you're listening on the podcast, then you can email them in, info@glenycehughes.com, or just go to my webpage, glenycehughes.com, and you'll see the contact page. Send them in. I'm happy to do a follow-up show with any of this, guys, because let's change this. My sweet friends, let's change this. So have a fabulous week, and I look forward to chatting again next week.